Hey, how's it going? This is Indigenous Patriot. I usually raise that hand, right? Thank you for joining me. I'm going to do just a simple video, one take. Well, maybe more than one take, but this is going to be just one continuous video, so stick with me. I'm going to talk about the elections, the cases, the claims, and how I feel about them. I'm going to go a little bit into detail in some areas, and in others, I'm just going to have a quick discussion. So let's get started. Wisconsin and Georgia are the two states that I know will have a recount. The last time we had a major recount that changed a presidential election was the 2000 election, and the right likes to bring this up a lot, the Al Gore Bush election, and how it changed the winner. The outcome of the election was changed, okay? But what makes this a little different is Wisconsin's like somewhere around 20,000 votes, and Georgia's like 10,500 or so votes in difference between the two candidates. The Al Gore and the George Bush votes was one state, recount rather, was one state, which was Florida, and it was somewhere around 300 to 500 votes. Let's round it up and say 500 votes. So the outcome of the election was determined by the Supreme Court in 2000 because that margin was such a small margin. Not 10,500 in the least of the two. Okay? So that makes it a little different. We have Arizona, who's like a point and a half or something higher in Biden's camp. You have Pennsylvania, which thank you to all of you that voted for Joe Biden in Pennsylvania. I appreciate it. I'm not a partisan individual, but I felt like it was time to have a new president. Thank you to everybody across the country for voting for Joe Biden. Appreciate it. In any case, so Pennsylvania does have one case that could possibly change the number of votes that I can see, and that's the one where the state Supreme Court agreed to extend the deadline in which they can accept ballots by a couple of days. And the Supreme Court is not a legislative court. I've talked about this in previous videos. The Supreme Court rules on cases. They do not legislate. The executive branch doesn't legislate. The state's legislators legislate. That's their Congress, okay? So this could get thrown out because it wasn't legislation that was enacted upon by the Pennsylvania Congress. But from what I hear, A, they set aside the ballots because it was ruled that they were supposed to set aside the ballots, and B, the ballots aren't part of the total that actually pushed Biden over the top. C, from what I hear, it's like 1,000 ballots at most or something like that, okay? We were talking about like tens of thousands of votes ahead in Pennsylvania. So what are we doing here? Okay? What are we doing here? To me, the whole idea about this is not to actually overturn the results of the election. I don't believe that is what is currently going on. I believe that what's currently going on is trying to set up 2024. Think about it in this perspective, and you may not agree with me, but that's okay because I'm interested in your opinions too. But if we were to take a hypothetical standpoint and put on our tinfoil hats, what does this administration gain from these accusations? Do you honestly think that they're going to drop tens of thousands of votes in each one of these states where Biden's at 290, and if he ends up winning officially Arizona, he's going to be up to, well, if they call Arizona and Georgia for him, he'll be up to like 306. Okay, whatever. In any case, he has the electoral votes in multiple states. You take one away, he still got it. You take two away, he still got it. Okay, Whatever. I digress. To me, what this actually is doing is just creating the pall over top of this election that keeps the conspiracies going. Okay, so the diehard Trump supporters, the people that aren't interested in taking a step back and looking at things as a whole, but are easily influenced by people on their social media or or they're shown something and they just believe it outright instead of looking at the source and where it came from. These people are going to continue to support this administration, and they're going to feel like they were threatened and that their democracy was taken advantage of, and this is an illegitimate blah 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 blah. Okay, we know how this goes. Okay, so when their candidate comes up in 2024, they're just going to jump right on him. Okay, they're going to go, oh, them Democrats are cheaters and they're evil and they eat babies and they steal elections. Let me vote for Junior. Okay, to me, that's what this is about. This is about setting up the next 2024 candidate, because as they've stated, as Lindsey Graham has most recently stated, they were afraid that another Republican president isn't going to be elected anytime soon after what's happened with Donald Trump. I don't know about that. You give me a good candidate, I'll vote for him. If I had a better candidate, no offense, but if I had a better candidate than Joe Biden, I would have voted for whoever that other candidate was. Okay? When they talk about the people that voted against Donald Trump but did not vote for Joe Biden, that's me. Okay? Now, mind you, hold on just a second there. You're getting ready to click that downvote button if you haven't already. I support the President of the United States, and I supported the previous President of the United States until he started screwing up. I did not vote for Donald Trump. I will never vote for Donald Trump. I'm just going to categorically state that, okay? I cannot vote for him on a moral standpoint. Period. So anyway, I don't vote on party line. I vote based upon the individual. While we have our tinfoil hat on, let's consider this scenario. What if we thought that people got tired of Donald Trump? They kind of believe the socialism stuff, but they're tired of Donald Trump and felt like he endangered us with COVID-19, which he did because he admitted that it was real and airborne, and ended up continuing to pack his rallies, admitted that he downplayed the virus while packing those rallies and bragging about his crowd size. Prove me wrong on that. You can't, because it's all on video or audio. In any case, maybe they were tired of what he brought, but they were afraid of packing Congress with socialists. And that's why we ended up with the votes that we ended up with, where 4 million people voted more million people voted for Joe Biden than voted for Donald Trump. But the Democrats did not sweep the House and the Senate like they expected. Maybe that's why, because they wanted to get rid of the mouthpiece that was causing division in our country, but they weren't exactly comfortable with just giving up the reins of power to Democrats. And I believe that that's exactly what happened. I voted blue down the ballot because the guy that ran in my local House of Representatives is a jackass, and I didn't want to vote for him. Let's just state that unequivocally. Okay? I'd tell him to his face if I had the opportunity. But he won. So it is what it is. Maybe this is not some kind of conspiracy like Hillary's emails, like Seth Rich, like the unmasking, like the FISA warrants that nothing came out of. And really, nothing came out of it. One guy was like slapped on the wrist. What else has happened? Nothing. None of Hillary's emails have gotten her locked up. Comey's still out. The only people that have been indicted are those on Donald Trump's side, like Steve Bannon. Maybe we need to take a step away from the Flavor Aid for a second and just look at things, okay? It'll be really embarrassing if in 10 years you've ruined your family relationships because you believe that there was a basement in the bottom of Comet Ping Pong, okay? I'm sorry, there's not a basement in the bottom of Comet Ping Pong. People aren't harvesting adrenochrome in order to make themselves look younger. Okay? That's like you're mixing fantasy with reality. Step into what we can prove. Step into what we actually know is happening using primary source documents and your own common sense, and stop just listening to what's going on. I'm sorry for preaching about this, but it's what's going on in our country. I see somebody share a meme, right? And the meme has all these state numbers. It's like Pennsylvania only had 5 million people registered to vote, but 6 million people voted. No. If you go to the state of Pennsylvania's website, they actually show you that it was 9 million plus people that were registered to vote. These things are so easy to dispel. These things are so easy if you take a minute to look at them to dispel. Now, are the Democrats wonderful, beautiful people? No, none of them are. They're all there to do, whichever lobbyists they feel are appropriate. They're all there to take the money. Not all of them, but a lot of them are there to take the money. A lot of them are there, to do what's best for they and theirs. But categorically causing a disruption to our election systems, to me, is not the way to go about it. Earlier this year, as well as in 2019, the Republicans denied multiple election security bills. This is all on record. It's all on record. They denied multiple election security bills. Before a single ballot went out, the Republicans already told you that this was going to be a cheating election. They called into question before anything was ever done. They already set the narrative. They already made it clear that this was the route that they were going to go. Donald Trump packed the courts. Donald Trump rushed to have our new justice, I don't want to show any kind of disrespect because she hasn't had the opportunity to prove or disprove herself, and I give people the benefit of the doubt. So anyway, he rushed to have his justice installed, pushing aside the COVID relief stuff, because he said at the debates that he believed this would go to the courts. We knew it was going to go to the courts before it ever started. How's that for a conspiracy theory for you? And anyway, I'm sorry. I'm going to send this video out as it is. If you like it, then please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. If you don't, then I apologize. You can't win them all. We can have a discussion in the comments section if you disagree, but let's keep it nice and polite. I'm not against you. We are all Americans, and we need to be able to have a conversation without having to pull on tinfoil hats all the time. I feel like I'm talking to the Randy Quaid's character in Independence Day, but he's not doing anything productive. He's just talking about, Comet Ping Pong or something. Anyway, Lepichka Nawe, I will see you again.